Yeah, you know what's funny about this whole equality doctrine, even though a lot of people already know it's bullshit, is the fact that they perpetuate it, but in these dynamics, it proves that there's no equality between men and women. It's just not, and it's okay. You have these simple ass people who get mad when you tell the truth about things pertaining to the genders. So you have this competition that's set up for the All-Star weekend after the three-point contest where Steph Curry will go against Sabrina Ionescu from the WNBA, Sabrina Ionescu of the New York Liberty. The thing about this is Steph Curry is going to be playing with a bigger ball as compared to the WNBA's ball. So it's not necessarily a bigger ball in general, but just bigger compared to the WNBA. And Steph Curry is going to be playing in a bigger court. The three-point line is further from the rim. But WNBA, they play with smaller basketballs, and the three-point line is closer to the rim. So how is this equal? And how is this fair? Like, how can we really measure who's better if, you're going to do things that's going to favor the woman? Yo, the woman is just a pawn in this society, and she just don't know it. She just does not know it. It's just crazy when you think about it. And like I said, you cannot speak facts. You cannot speak things that make sense. Everything has to be delusional when it comes to women. You got to walk on eggshells when it comes to women, just in regards to talking about it, in regards to when you're in a corporate setting and you got to abide by certain guidelines so you won't, offend any demographic and all this dumb shit. But it's still a conundrum. It's still contradictory because you want to be equal. So if you want to be equal, why not play with the same basketball as Stephen Curry? Why not play on the same court? Come on, bro. Right? Like, you only want to be equal when it suits you. And once again, all that does is tell you that a female is a child. They are children. They only want the equality when it suits them. So it just shows you that all this shit is just a cartoon. Just when it comes to all these dynamics that they perpetuate between the genders, the competitive aspect, is something you shouldn't really take serious. I have no doubt that Sabrina Ionescu is going to win. She's going to win. Not because of any sort of, real competition. Just because I believe Steph Curry is going to sell it and they're going to allow her to win. Because if you notice, Steph Curry is one who has a history of bowing down to the divine feminine aspect. So it makes sense that they have him be the one going against a female because he's pretty much of that ilk of a Kobe Bryant, where Kobe Bryant was someone who bowed down to the feminine principle in terms of teaching his daughters and being in that realm. And not to say that is anything wrong with that, but just when it comes to the dynamic on a contextual level, you understand that that's just him capitulating to the worship of the divine feminine, especially if you understand other things that have something to do with that. That's just not necessarily like apparent. It's just that you have to, look more into it in terms of connecting the dots to the esoteric. That's what I'm saying. So it won't surprise me if Steph Curry loses. It won't surprise me.
Play. In the meantime, I was happy because the Utah won. The Sabrina Ionescu and Steph Curry thing continues. Remember in the WNBA All-Star, this was a record-setting performance for Ionescu. 47 points. Nobody's ever done that. Nobody's ever done that.
Well, she's shooting with a women's ball.
I'm not one.
Exactly. Nobody's ever done that. She's shooting with her ball. She's shooting with the ball that they use in the WNBA. So you can't say nobody's ever done that. Unless you're talking about just specifically the WNBA. You know what I mean? So we gotta understand facts. When you bring up facts, they want to say, "Oh, you misogynist. Come on, Kenny, don't go there with it." What? It's the truth. She's playing with a ball that's smaller. Women have smaller hands. They're naturally smaller. So I get it. But at the same time, don't push this equality shit then. Because you're not equal. Men and women are different. And that's okay. I mean, this is something that's already like common knowledge. It's just the fact that the people in power try to act like people aren't aware of these things. Or not necessarily try to act like that. They just dismiss the they pretty much insult the intelligence of the people is what I'm saying. Because people are intelligent enough to know that no, men and women ain't equal. That's just some political shit that they push. You get what I mean? Like, they play on the intelligence of people when they push this equality bullshit, knowing that men and women ain't fucking equal. And it's not a negative thing. We're different. We come together like a key and a lock. Just like the brother always say, Chronicles of Judah, he always says this. When men and women come together like a key and a lock. And that's so apropos. That's so plain. Because it just dispels the whole equality bullshit. And it also gives you an understanding of it's okay. Like, we're different for a reason. That's how the Most High made us. He made a man with a penis and a woman with a pussy. That right there should tell you enough, you know?
So she puts out there to Steph, shoot out? And now Steph's got the answer. I got a person she can shoot out against.
Yo, do you know who holds the record for the most points in a three-point competition? Sabrina?
That man was programmed to say that. Believe me, he was programmed to say that. You may look at this and think that that was authentic. He was programmed to say that. And she does not hold the most for the three-point competition because it's not. It's a competition that's aside from the men, from the NBA. Like, if you think about it, right? The NBA is not MNBA, it's just NBA. But with WNBA, it's WNBA. Why is that? Because it's always going to be secondary to what the standard is, and the standard is the men. It's always going to be like that. So for you to say, oh, well, she holds the record for the most three-pointers in the three-point contest as if it's a unisex event. No, it's never been a unisex event. So why even say that Sabrina Ionescu holds the record? She does not hold the record. She doesn't compete with the men. So it's just like, it's dumb. And you could tell that this is all bullshit. This is all based in that aspect of the divine feminine. Whether people understand it or not, they worship the divine aspect. They worship the divine feminine, the woman. Woman worship is prominent in this society. The mother goddess worship, that's prominent in this society. Divine feminine worship, all intertwined. Even going back to Mac Miller's album, The Divine Feminine, where he touches on it. Especially at the end, the last song with Kendrick Lamar, where, he's going into it. So it's important for us to understand, not just the apparent, but what the significance of it is, especially esoterically, because that's all it's about. Sabrina Ionescu. So this pretty much is like a segue into, the competition aspect between Stephen Curry and Sabrina Ionescu. Like this little thing right here between him and Pods.
I think I gotta bring her out and be like, we gotta settle this once and for all.
I know, that's what they said. I was talking to my agent about it because my agent Curry said in Indy y'all probably gonna do something.
I think I gotta challenge her. Hell yeah. It'd be lit.
See, like that's all that is. That was all set up. That's supposed to be a segue into what we're going to see in the three-point competition between he and Sabrina Ionescu. And Sabrina Ionescu, she got game. It's just she got game for her sport with her, demographic or whatnot with women. You know what I mean? But it's still cool. We're going to see her going to competition against Stephen Curry. It's just a thing of understanding what this is really about. Just in terms of the motive behind all this stuff, Stephen Curry's not going to win the competition. And if he does, then I'll eat my words. But at the same time, I understand what these dynamics are really about. And even if he does win, it's still something that they want to push in terms of, just having these genders and having a dissension between the genders. If he wins, then, it'll be like it's almost like a double-edged sword. Like if the woman wins, then there'll be like backlash from that in terms of, oh, well, did he sell it? Or they wanted to make a woman win, or the thing of, oh, Stephen Curry, how you gonna lose to a woman? And if he wins, then it's like, oh, misogyny or whatever. There's always gonna be some sort of negative connotation on it, is what I'm saying. And we're just gonna see what's gonna happen.
Come on!
That would be lit. Let's get it.
Oh, let's get it. I love it.
At the 3-point line.
Oh, Sabrina, I'm going to speak to Steph Curry. First round of the playoffs, y'all can do it. Because he won't be in the playoffs.
Talking about the All-Star game. They should do that at the All-Star.
I'm saying they should do it the first round of the playoffs. They should do.
I mean, you never know. Golden State, they making a push. They might make the playoffs. You know, LA and Golden State, they making a real push. But yeah, man, it's really weird because it's not like it's equal footing. They're not shooting from the same court. They're not using the same ball. So it's like, what's really the point of it? How can we really measure who's better? You know? But once again, man, it's all confusion. And every time a woman is included in these things, it's just meant to perpetuate confusion, not discrediting or demeaning the woman. I'm just saying how she's being used. The woman is being used as a pawn in this society. It's just that she doesn't understand it because everything is layered. Everything is layered.